Good day, dear students. So our topic for today is types of research instrument. There are different types of research instruments. Okay? So nandito na kayo ngayon sa point wherein your research proposal has been approved. Congratulations, guys. So ngayon is gagawa na kayo ng research instrument. Ano ba yung research instrument? Ito yung gagamitin natin na pang-measure no, ng mga data. Paano natin kukunin yung mga data na kailangan natin no, para ma-achieve natin yung goal natin sa ating research. Okay? There are different types of research instruments. Okay? Pwedeng focus interview, no? Pag-interview, meron kang set of questions or in the respondents or participants respond to them in a specific way. Whereas a focus group interview uses a set of predetermined questions and response to each one. Okay? And a non-directed interview, on the other hand, uses observation naman as the primary method of data collection. These interviews are more reactionary and do not involve a predetermined line of questionings. Okay? Non-directed interview, dyan free-flowing lang yung mga questions at saka yung mga sagot ng yung mga respondents. Okay? So when it comes to quantitative data collection methods, they use structured data collection instrument. Pagdating sa kapag ang research design mo ay nagbibilang sa quantitative research design. Okay. These methods are very effective daw no, in presenting results and can easily be compared and generalized. These studies use data that has been validated to ensure the accuracy and strength of the result. That's why no, kapag sa quantitative research design, mas maganda yung gagamitin mo are structured data collection instruments na na-validate, no? Content validation, face validation, and other validation. Okay, so but most undergrad thesis na require lang naman is expert validation, no? Kung ano yung field mo, and then pipili ka ng at least 3 no, expert validators no, to validate no, na ang instrument na gamit mo ay talagang namang minimeasure niya yung dapat mong i-measure. Okay? There are other types of data collection tools. Some of these are observational, while others are experimental or simulation. Okay. Uh, Among the four main types of data collection, we have questionnaire surveys, no? We have standardized tests, no? We have interview. No? Sabi dito, they have to be done person to person, pero dahil sa sakit ngayon, no, because of the COVID-19, no, we can already do this via online. Okay? Tests and experiments are the most popular quantitative tools. However, they vary in their validity, which is the degree of measurement. It's important to choose no, the right instrument for your research or thesis. Napaka-importante na ang research instrument mo is reliable, consistent, kahit ulit-ulitin mo siyang i-administer sa tao, sa mga respondents mo, you still get no, the more or less the same result. Or it is valid, meaning i-measure niya yung what is supposed to measure. Okay? So for example, ang yung mini-measure is about resiliency. No? So yung questionnaire po ba na ginamit, mini-measure niya ba talaga niya ang resiliency? No? Sabi ko kanina, there are ways to know the validity no, of your instrument. Ang pinakamadali is yung common na ginagawa ay yung expert validation. Pero there are still so many ways not to to validate a test. Siguro we will discuss that later. Okay? Okay. Meron din tayo tinatawag na primary and secondary collection. Okay? When we say secondary data, no data collection, um, yung you get the researcher get the data or the data are collected from existing sources. Secondary data collection yan. Meron ng data, all you have to do is to request na kung pwedeng maibigay sa iyo yung data. Of course, we have to consider ethical consideration like Privacy Act. Minsan you have to ask permission first from the privacy to the officer in charge of taking care of the privacy of the data in a certain office. Okay. Meron namang primary wherein ikaw mismo, the researcher mismo ang magagather ng kanyang data. Okay, now let's go to the four main types of research instruments. We have questionnaires, survey, checklist, and then rating scale, and then standardized test, and interviews, focus group discussion. Okay, correction, there are seven instruments that we're going to discuss here. First is the questionnaire. A questionnaire is a list of questions or items used to gather data from respondents about their attitudes, experiences, or opinions. Guys, if your research is about attitudes, experiences, opinions, okay, you can use a questionnaire. Questionnaires can be used to collect quantitative and pwede rin qualitative information. Questionnaires are commonly used in market research as well as in the social and health sciences. Okay. Number 2 is survey. Survey research is a unique way of gathering information from a large cohort. Advantages of survey include having a large population and therefore a greater statistical power, the ability to gather large amounts of information, and having the availability of validated models. Kung malaki, yung population mo, ang tawag dyan is you're going to use a survey. Okay? So next is checklist. Checklist is a form that is used for quickly and easily recording data or identifying actions or requirements. It is used when it's easy to extract data in a useful manner from a checklist. It is particularly effective at registering the occurrence of incidents, events, tasks, or problems. Okay, I have here an example of a checklist. Okay, rating scale. The scale or rating scale is commonly used to gather or to gain feedback or to evaluate. It can be used to gain insight into the performance of a product, employee satisfaction, or skill, customer service performance. Okay, if your research is about evaluation, then ang gagamitin mo is rating scale. Okay, so next is standardized test. Standardized test is any form of test that requires all test takers to answer the same questions or a selection of questions from common bank of questions. Okay. So if your instrument is a standardized test, usually tinatanong dyan, yung reliability and validity ng test mo. At saka angkop ba siya, sa population mo or sa respondents mo, naangkop ba, yung ginagamit mong standardized test. Okay? So, there are types of standardized tests. We have achievements tests. Ang achievement tests measure the knowledge and skills students learned in school or to determine the academic progress they have made over a period of time. Now, it can also be used to evaluate the effectiveness of a school and teachers. Okay? At saka yung placement ng mga estudyante. Okay? We also use achievement tests, not to know the placement of students. Okay, next we have under the standardized tests, we have aptitude tests, no, and this attempt to predict a student's ability to succeed in an intellectual or physical endeavor. For example, evaluating mathematical ability, no, language proficiency, abstract reasoning, motor coordination, or musical talent. Aptitude tests are forward-looking in that they typically attempt to forecast, no, or predict niya, no, how well students will do in a future educational or career setting. No? Magiging successful ka ba, no, sa social work? Magiging successful ka ba sa engineering? No? So, kung yun ang gusto mo makuha, malaman, then take aptitude test na for those field to measure aptitude tests for a certain field. Okay? Of course, we have college admission tests. These are used in the process of deciding which students will be admitting to a collegiate program. Of course, meron din dito mga personality tests, no, to measure personality, no, of a person, like introversion versus extroversion, no, measure the temperament, no, measure the emotional stability, measure the resiliency, measure the grit level of the person, no, kung gusto mo i-measure yung personality ng tao, then under din siya sa standardized test. And of course, we have interviews, as we have mentioned a while back, and of course, focus group discussion. Okay, so that's our topic for today. I hope you learned something about types of research instrument this afternoon. Thank you. See you next video.